Here we will be looking at using DBCA. Now the VM that I initially created cannot run DBCA, so I have another VM here where I will be able to demonstrate DBCA for you. I start off DBCA from the command line. It opens in X Windows session because it's a GUI, so you need X term running on your desktop. It takes a while. Again, this is a Java program. It takes a while to start up and depends on how your desktop is configured. So it gives you a welcome screen first. The first option is to create a database. The second option is to configure options in an existing database. Third one allows you to delete a database, and the fourth one allows you to manage templates. We'll be looking at create a database right now. So the first type of template is a general purpose template. You can click on the show details button to see the details of the template. So here the template is loaded. You can actually save everything as an HTML file. It shows you what are the components that will be installed, what are the initialization parameters for the database instance, which allocate memory and other resource configurations, what is the character set, and where are the data files. So I'll close this window again, select the general purpose transaction processing template, continue with the next button. I give a name, so I just say new DB. Do I want to configure enterprise manager? Yes. Then do I want to configure database control for local management? Now remember, the difference is database control is on the same box, on the same server, while enterprise manager can connect from another dedicated server. So here we will enable both configurations. The third option there is to enable daily disk backups. We don't do that right now. We will configure backups manually later on. Automated maintenance tasks is the second tab, which allows you to configure the automated tasks, which are the segment space advisor, the tuning advisor, and gathering of schema statistics. We will see what those advisors are later in the course. We can specify passwords for the accounts. For the timing, I'll give the same password for all the accounts. Use the same password. It gives me a warning that the password does not satisfy a recommended password complexity policy, which is fine. I will just continue with this simple password. Otherwise, the complexity policy you can see requires one uppercase, one lowercase, and one digit. Then where do I want to create the files? This is going to be created on file system. I could choose between file system and automated storage management, but I don't have ASM on this server, so I'll choose file system. By default, it goes to Oracle base Aura data, or I can browse to a different location and specify that directory. I could browse to another location and give that directory location, but let me just choose Oracle base. There's user 1 app Oracle Aura data. Okay, so that's the directory that will be chosen by default. I could have chosen some other directory. I could also specify Oracle managed files, so that Oracle will automatically name all the files for me. There is a file locations variable button, which allows me to specify what are the values which I will use through the database configuration assistant. So here it shows me what is my Oracle base is, what my Oracle home is, and what my database name is. Remember the database name, I will go back. Just go back to the database name screen. Global database name can also include a domain name, so that it is across all the installations in my organization, maybe across all countries if it's a multinational. But SID is local to this server alone. So within this server is new DB, but across all the databases in my organization, I could give it a new db.myorg.com. That could be my name, the global name. Coming back, clicking on the next, specify the passwords, the location for the database. So if you look at file location variables, now it automatically picks up the database name is new DB. Then I click on next again. If I want to specify where the backup should go to, I can specify the fast recovery area. Okay, I can browse to a location if I have it. There is a fast recovery area here. I can specify that, and I can specify the maximum size of backups in that fast recovery area, for currently specified as 4 GB. I can enable archive log mode up front. I can choose the archive mode parameters. So the default archive log format is specified here. When we look at archive log setup, we will see what this format is. Click on next. It just says I don't have enough space. I can just say ignore the warning, continue. Do I want to install the sample schemas? I say yes. Do I want any custom scripts to be executed? If my organization has some standards about additional scripts, I can include them here. So those additional scripts will be run by Oracle automatically. Here is where I specify the memory settings. The typical automatically picks up from the server memory configuration. So it says 40% is used, and that means 1988 GB is allocated for SGA and PGA. I can say use automatic memory management. That means I don't have to specify SGA and PGA size manually, or I can choose custom and specify my own sizes for SGA and PGA. So I have both options, typical with automatic memory management and custom. In the second tab, the sizing tab, I can specify the number of processes allowed to connect to the database server. The block size is 8 kilobytes, that's standard block size, so I can't change that because it's the block size coming from the standard template. In the character set, I should use Unicode, that's the recommended character set. Although for this platform the default character set is W8MSWin, I should choose AL32 UTF-8 to support multiple languages. And national language character set allows me to define characters in multiple languages as well. So we leave that as the default, which corresponds to AL32 UTF-8. Remember, every client installation, every application server can have its own default language and default territory. So my defaults are American United States, but if I have a server in China, I can change the language and territory to China as well. Connection mode allows me to specify how connections will come in. We should always use the dedicated server mode. Shared server mode connection is to be configured when you actually have thousands of connections coming to the database. If you have a few hundreds or even 1,000 or so, use dedicated server mode. There is a button here called all initialization parameters. If I click on that, it shows me all the initialization parameters for the instance, the standard ones, and there is an advanced parameters button which shows me a lot more parameters. So when we look at instance management, we will see some of these parameters, what they mean. We don't have to go through all of these few hundred parameters, we will just look at some critical ones. In DBCA, you can actually select a parameter and click on show description. It shows you a short description of the parameter. So I selected audit trail, it shows me a description of the audit trail and what are the range of values. The columns here specify what is the value, whether I can override the default, and whether it's a basic parameter or not. So if I hide advanced parameters, I will see only the basic parameters. So if I click on show advanced parameters, I see all the parameters including the basic ones. Let me hide them again. I'll click on close to close the screen. Go on to next. So now it shows me the database storage. It will by default create two control files, one in the Aura data directory and one in the fast recovery area directory. By default, these are the data files being created because this is a standard template. So these are standard files coming out of the template. They will be created under Aura data and the database unique name, that is new DB. I can change the names if I really want to. I can click on name and change it, system01 dot new DB if I want to, but there is no reason to change that because the folder name identifies the database name. Then in the redo log groups, by default it creates three redo log groups. Here I will change the name to .dbf, redo01.dbf. For group 2, redo02.dbf, and group 3, redo03.dbf. Now you notice that for each of these groups, the names only one file, so there is no multiplexing or mirroring. If I want, I can specify a different a mirrored file as well, redo01. Sorry, that's the help page. Redo01 b.dbf. So now I have multiplexed my group 1 to 2 files, one in Oreta DB unique name and The other one I could specify in a different location, maybe the fast recovery area. I could pick up the file location here and identify what the variables are defined. Okay, for the time being I'll just exclude this one. I'll remove it. So I have one file for every redo log group and the size is 50 megabytes. Now I come to the last screen where I can choose to create database, I can choose to save as a template, and I can choose to generate creation scripts. So I could choose all three options, or I could just not select create database right now, but generate the template and generate this creation scripts and review the creation scripts, and if I choose I can manually run the creation scripts. So for the time being I don't have enough space to create a database, so I'll ignore that. I will save a template and generate the creation scripts. So it gives me a summary of what I'm creating: newdb.myorg.com, local SID is newdb, I'm using automatic shared memory management, these are the components that will be installed in the database, and these are the initialization parameters for the database. I can document this as an HTML file, so I can save it in a location, say OK, and it has created a template and it has created the scripts as well. Let's look at the scripts. I go back here, open a new terminal, user1 app oracle admin new db. So this is the location, u01 app oracle admin new db scripts, and these are the scripts. If I actually invoke newdb.sh, I can have it invoke all of these scripts and create the database for me. The first one it runs is something called newdb SQL, where it prompts me for the passwords for sys, system, sysman and dbsnmp, creates the password file for the sys password, and then runs all the other SQL scripts for me. Since this is from a template, it's actually cloning from a standard template which has been created. If I want to see where the templates are, I go to Oracle Home Assistance, DBCA, CD template, so templates. So this is my directory location, Oracle Home Assistance DBCA templates, and you can see newdb.dbc got created today. That's a new template, and these are all the standard templates which are already available. So let me go back to the DBCA screen. So we saw that the scripts were created in this location and the template also got created. I could then choose to continue and create another database, create another template. I can even choose to manage templates. So I can create a template from the existing database that is already running, or I can delete a database template. Let me not do that. I could delete a database that is on the server. So this is the existing database ORCL. I could choose to delete that. Let me go back, not do that, and I can configure options for the database. So I select a database, I can configure certain options for the database. Here in this case the only options remaining to be configured are Enterprise Manager. So let me go back. So that was the database configuration assistant screens. Let me exit with the cancel button. So remember, templates get created here, Oracle Home Assistance DBCA templates, and the scripts get created under Oracle base admin. Oops, the Oracle base is not defined as an environment variable here, so I go to app Oracle admin new db scripts. So this is all created just now, August 28th, 11:28 PM. Thank you.